Hi, I'm Chief Gary Sparks with the Douglasville Police Department. Today we want to give you some safety tips concerning traffic stops. Take a look.
So you look in your rear view mirror and see flashing blue lights. What do? Remain calm. Yield to the right and pull your vehicle over into an off-road area that is safe for both you and the officer. Put your car in park. Remove your foot from the brake and turn the radio off. Remain in your vehicle. Have your driver's license readily available for the officer. Keep your hands on the steering wheel, visible for the officer at all times. If you need to retrieve any items from the interior, explain what you're reaching for to the officer and avoid any sudden movements. Rolling the window down completely establishes a level of trust with the officer and allows for ease of interaction during the routine traffic stop. Be courteous and polite. Be cooperative and willing to follow the officer's instructions. During a routine traffic stop, the officer will return to his vehicle to run the tag and driver's license verification and complete a citation if one is necessary. Once the officer returns and approaches your vehicle, whether or not a citation or warning is issued, please remain calm, courteous, and cooperative. Sign the citation acknowledging you agree to appear in court, and do not dispute the citation with the officer. The officer will give you a court date to explain or defend your infraction.
Okay, ma'am. Like I told you, I did clock you at 51 in a 35 mile per hour speed zone. I did issue a citation, okay? This here is going to be your court date. I just need a signature from you stating that you received a copy of this citation, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Here's your driver license.
Thank you.
Along with a copy of the citation, okay? Do you have any questions or concerns for me?
No, sir.
Okay, well, you have a nice day, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Following these few simple steps will help ensure a safe interaction for both you and the officer.
I hope these few tips help you as it relates to dealing with law enforcement and traffic stops. Not only in traffic stops, but in all encounters with law enforcement. We hope that all our encounters are safe for the citizens as well as for our officers. Again, we want you to be safe, and if you have any problems with the Douglasville Police Department, don't hesitate to give us a call and make your concerns known. I would add that Georgia is a right to carry state, and we hope that if you are carrying, that on these traffic stops and all encounters, please let the officer know that you are carrying. This will ensure your safety and our officers' safety. Thank you, may God bless you, and may God keep our community safe. We are one.
You are tuned in to Talk Show Kings on TV 1061.
Man, what they gonna do with this black on black crime, man? I'm sick of this. Thank you for watching another edition of Talk Show Kings on TV 1061. We'll be seeing you soon.
Hey, hello, and welcome back. I am so excited because we have a full-fledged show today. And before I say anything else, I want to thank the people in Douglasville, Georgia, and around the globe. And not to mention, hey, the producer of the show, Mr. Felix Washington. And I'm going to let you guys know right now, we have two hot topics. And it's is spinning all around crazy sounds in United States of America and out of the country. And we're talking about political acts, what's going on today, about the Kamala Harris and the Donald Trumps. And not to mention our second topic is heartfelt, it's hard. We're going to be talking about Massey, the Massey family, or what they're going through. I'm going to let you know right now that we are talking about something that's plaguing everyone's home in America, and it shouldn't be that way. But I want to say this personally. I want to thank everybody for letting us come into your homes again, because what I have to say is really important. Here at the Talk Show Kings, let me just say this to you right now. We need your help. We have personal donations to keep our show afloat. And I just want everybody to know right now that we need your help. We have personal donations been given to this studio for we striving on. In Douglasville, Georgia, I want you to listen closely, because we in your community bringing awareness. I'm tired of hearing from people get voted in office, sheriffs, judges, lawyers, city councilmen. We need you right now to help us, support us. If anybody out there that has an ear and a heart, I'm just trying to tell you right now, this is where you want to bring your donations in. As you can see on camera, we do have a Cash App, and there's nothing free in here. I mean, these four, or should I say three gentlemen, and then myself, we strive to want to bring you the serious, most important news. We have families just like you, but bills have to be paid. We need your help. We even have special guests coming here today. We have the Latino. Oh, I love saying that. They have four beautiful ladies on the stage, and they're going to bring their perspective of what's going on in the political areas of what's going on with them. And now I want to quickly speak about the producer of the show, Mr. Felix Washington. This man done a lot of things for political people. And he, as I said before on the show, he does a lot of things and tell me God is going to take care. But, hey, I'm standing with God today asking you, we need your support. He done help people in the mayors, the sheriff department, city councils. So we're reaching out asking you guys, if you care about this in your community, we don't get tired of seeing you for election days. We want to see the sheriff department come in and tell us what's going on in the community, what the mayor is doing. I mean, the city council is doing. Heck, this is our city. I'm getting tired of saying, let's make America great again. Hell, America never been great, but we can start today. Let's bury the axe and start today and make it great today. As I said, I don't want to bring any disturbances, but our first thing are political. This beautiful woman approached me, Latino, and she said, my name is Nito. And I said, sure, because you know I don't speak Spanish. She said, don't worry about it, Raphael. I'll tell you who I am. If you go to the stage right now, I want you to introduce yourself, and because I don't want to mess your name up, and tell everybody about yourself. Need this on you. Tell us everybody about yourself.
Hi, Rafael. Hola a todos. My name is Juanita Torres. I am a Latina. I am a mother. I'm a daughter. I'm a friend. And I love to be in the community to empower other women to move on forward.
Oh, okay. I appreciate that. And who are those lovely ladies you're sitting with?
So over here, I have Johanny.
Joanny Matos.
And then we have her sister.
Socorro Muñoz.
And then we have our beautiful guest,
Amber Smith.
Okay, I got to be honest. I got everybody, when they start speaking Spanish, it sounds like a bowl of something I want to eat. And I want to thank you. But, you know, you're here today because we want to know in the Latino area, what's going on in your community, how they feeling about what's going on in America about the political act. Should a black woman run for president? Or should Donald Trump be the next ham? We want to know what's going on, how you feel, because we don't simply know. We in the black community, where a lot of us is from, we want to see from your own mouth, what are you seeing that should be done and who you think should be the next president?
I think our next president, somebody who has good ethics, somebody who has been around to work with people and not against people. I think Kamala will be definitely a good choice. We have facts, we have seen pretty much all year what Trump is like and his beliefs. We don't need somebody who's a cheater. We need somebody that can tell us the truth. We need somebody that can help us. One of the things I've been looking lately, it's about women's rights. And I think Kamala Harris will overturn Wade versus Roe. I think that's extremely important to be able to talk about, birth control. We talk about the amount of teen pregnancies we have in this country and who's there to support these moms, who's there for some of these teenagers to continue back to school, to move on with their lives. Instead, we're having more and more pregnancies. We're having more and more teen pregnancies. And so our system really needs to have somebody who can empower us. I think Kamala, it's young and brings a lot of energy. And we just want somebody who can do right by the community.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's interesting. If anybody else want to say anything?
¿Qué piensan ustedes de qué está pasando en este momento en la comunidad? ¿Ustedes creen que este país está listo para tener una mujer negra presidente?
Bueno, realmente yo no, primero no soy racista y segundo, creo que nosotros las mujeres somos muy inteligentes y que podemos llegar hasta donde nosotros nos propongamos llegar.
Okay, so Johanny, I'm interpreting for her, and she says, first of all, I'm not a racist person, so I don't look at race. I think women themselves are extremely powerful that can get to be wherever they want to be.
Oh, okay.
De cómo estamos en lo que estamos viviendo, ¿qué piensas tú de la presidenta o de Donald Trump? ¿Cuál es tu opinión de lo que está pasando en este momento en el país?
Bueno, yo pienso que es hora de que la mujer se haga sentir. De primera, yo pienso que sí, que puede ser. Puede ser porque nosotros las mujeres somos muy inteligentes, muy capaces, muy habilidosas en cuanto a la mente. Podemos hacerlo.
Okay.
Podemos hacerlo, a ver si el país cambia.
In my opinion, and I'm now translating for Socorro, in my opinion, I feel that women are ready to make a difference. Women have intelligence. Women have the power to get to be a first lady. And I am all for women to continue to be educated and for our voice to be heard.
Okay, that was. Oh, okay. We have one more.
Amber?
Yes. I feel the same as these other ladies do. I think that women should stick together as far as this country is concerned, and I agree with her about the birth control things. I know women, there should be a limit. Like you have to stop having kids at some point. I believe, and I'm a go Trump. I think he did a pretty good job in the presidency, and he genuinely cares a lot more than the other candidates do. So, but I'm all for empowering women, helping any which way I can. So.
Okay, well, hey, she didn't have to interpret that. Okay, I understood that. Not to mention, I want to let everybody know now, the phone lines are open, but please keep your calls at a minimum because there's more questions we want to ask. I got to ask one more question. It's said that the United States is not ready for a woman. And I remember last night I was up and I was reading this book, or should I say looking at a movie also, of Harriet Tubman. They told her, Harriet, it's not safe to go and free these slaves. There's trouble out there. And she believed in God and went forward. And I believe that they told Martin Luther King, it's not time to walk through Birmingham. If we still be waiting at the ham, we'll never make it across. Sure, we lost lives and all these different things to build us up. I mean, it's sad what's going on in America. They keep talking about let's make America great, as I said earlier. But at the same time, there's nothing great. And they were speaking about Kamala Harris, you guys mentioned Kamala. They said she did a lot of things that she wasn't right when she was Attorney General when she was in California. But I look at slavery. How many times my ancestors hung from trees? How many times they say that was in the past? And they said, I remember when OJ was alive, and they said we can't forgive him, but that was in the past. We all need to bury a hatchet and get shovels and start digging out freedom. We got to let this thing ring. We all got to come together as one group of people. I'm getting so tired of somebody telling me, the news telling me, well, the Latinos, they not with us, or the blacks not with them. We need to come together as one right now. I think it's important, which as ladies, sufficient that you guys up here telling us that birth control and things was happening, are putting us against each other. I appreciate that. But I want to ask you, the first speaker, let's pronounce your name again.
Juanita.
Juanita. Why? I cannot forget that name. That sounds like Mama Mia a little bit. I want to ask you a question. I've noticed you work with the community. You come out of what part of Texas?
I lived in Austin, Texas for 39 years.
Okay, and you work with the mayor, I believe.
I work in the city manager's office. I volunteer for events with the mayor. I'm also a certified interpreter, so I was constantly helping out with visitors. And I also have, my background is in childbirth education, and I'm a certified doula, where I provided childbirth support in the hospitals for Latino moms or moms that were incarcerated and have no one at the time of birth.
Oh, okay, all right. Now, hey, we got a panel here. These guys, something we didn't do. I didn't introduce my panel like I usually do, because the talk show kings, we always introduce ourselves. First, let me introduce myself. My name is King Ralph, and to my left,
I'm King Darwin, and to my left,
King Yaquez, and to my left,
King Eric.
And together we are
the Talk Show Kings.
We got to have that. It's like a group, right? I'm about to get my song on. Now, guys, you're welcome to go forward, guys. Let's ask any question, whatever y'all need to ask. My guys are shy? Okay, I guess. Oh, okay. What?
I don't have nothing right now.
Okay, you have nothing right now. What about you, King Eric?
No, I don't have anything right now. I'm basically just listening and, trying to learn from them.
Information?
Right.
Well, if you ain't got nothing to say, I got a lot to say. I met her, the first panelist. I met her, and I volunteered at a pantry, and she so gracefully approached me, and she asked me my name, and it wasn't about a race divided between us. It was a big smile because we was helping people in the community, right? And I've learned being a volunteer. There's so many people starving out here. They're going through things, and just being at the pantry, it made me become to realize when I had it so good in my life, I didn't know people was really starving out here. I see women and children, homeless people. We talk about election time. As I go back to the officials in Douglasville, everybody done ran for some office, and I don't hear from them until it's time to vote again. So when are we going to pay attention and acknowledge the homeless people here? Is anybody going to do anything, or we don't keep it hush-hush? Sure, we have a beautiful city, but I'm sure all the funds they taking in or whatever, somebody can do something, So what y'all guys think about that?
What I think about that is I feel like the city is not even placing the funds where it needs to be. Maybe some funds might be going into schools and some, but not enough.
Mm-hmm.
In everything, they always want to put education last.
Mm.
They always want to do things like expansions or something to fatten their pockets first.
Yes.
Instead of putting money towards the next generation of people that's going to run this country.
That makes sense. Because we got working people in the family and still starving. And it's like they're working just to pay bills.
Exactly.
And what you want to say, King E? Look like you got something on your mind.
Well, I mean, again, that goes back to, I mean, we talk about the city, and again, it's the elected officials. We put them in office, so I'll agree with King D on this one. Hold them to the fire.
Mm-hmm.
We put them in the office. They need to do the things that they say they were going to do.
Exactly.
So, right. Even though we do put them in office, the ones that we do put in office that want to enact these things are always followed by pushback.
Mm-hmm.
That puts it to a stop.
Hmm.
So it's a double coin.
Yeah. So you're right about
Two
that.
sides of the same coin.
That's right.
Like you got some that don't do enough, some that try to but get stopped, railroaded every which way possible.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about King D?
Well, honestly, I feel it's a lot of stuff going on, especially in the political realm.
Mm-hmm.
It needs a lot of work. We need to do a lot of work, as far as working with the Latino and the Latina family. We need to definitely, try to build some type of platform that we can actually, communicate better with each other, because some of us, we have the translator here now, don't speak Spanish, and some of them don't speak English. But it's going to take us really sitting down, hashing out our differences and trying to work together if we're going to try to make this world great again. Mm-hmm. With another, another culture of people, because it's challenging, dealing with the communication barrier and culture barriers and all types of things. But if we really serious about it, I think that we definitely can get things done. If we got the same, agendas in mind.
Yeah, and I believe we're the same, like my sisters over there, because you want the same thing: good family, grandchildren, great grandchildren. We all want to live together in peace, and we hear the news act like we're going against each other, but we all on one accord. But this is why I got to disagree with you, King D, and agree with you. You said a platform. This is a platform here in Douglasville, Georgia. We have a studio here, connection that anybody here can come through here and say they want to do something. As I said earlier, we asking that we keep this going. We just don't want one race of a people or two race. We want everybody to come here to stop in and say what they're going through. And how do you ladies feel right now about the politicians in this city? Do you feel like they're doing what they're supposed to do, or are they around only when election time comes? How do you feel about it?
I feel that politicians are a business. Mm-hmm. And so, you vote for them. They promise so many things. And as soon as they get elected, they forgot about the people down there. They forgot about the changes they were going to do. Every time I turn the TV on, that there's no control on guns in this country. Mm-hmm. They took God out of religion. You can't even sing the national anthem because the word God is mentioned. And I know religion is a big topic, but I grew up in schools with uniforms. Everybody was the same. It didn't matter what last name you had, or we were all the same. Mm-hmm. And we just have gone in so many different directions. This is supposed to be the richest world in the country, a land of opportunity. And another thing at working at the food bank and seeing how many people in need is how many veterans that have served our nation are homeless.
Yes.
Are not getting, there's how many people work day after day in companies that promise them the world. They work and work because they have to feed their families, but they don't get any benefits. Exactly. They don't get vacation. They don't get sick time. And then the insurance system is corrupted, where people have to go to other countries to get medical care. So it's just so many things that we need to bring together to make our nation a better nation.
I think she hit it on the head, right, guys?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
I'm glad you spoke so openly and passionate about that because, it's kind of sad, but we as human beings and Americans, you ever listen to the news when the crime go down, you be like, oh, I hope they're not black. I hope they're not black. You ever say something like that? You hope they're not Latino. I hope they're not this.
Absolutely. We just had the soccer game where it was Colombia against Argentina. We were very proud that Colombia made it to the finalist. What happened in Miami? The Colombians broke every rule, broke the entire system. They went, they knocked people down, and it was an opportunity for Colombians to shine. And that was a little bit embarrassing because I'm a Colombia. It was a great game, but they broke all the rules. They broke all the laws, and so it was not the most
attractive,
welcoming game.
Exactly.
Even though we worked so hard. And it just takes that when you're a leader and you show an example in your community, people will see that. People
That's
will
right.
see, people are like sponges, just like children. We grow up to be mentors for our children. They're looking up at what we do. And the same thing, we're looking at what politicians are doing. Are they doing this right, or they're just corrupted and they just got our money and we'll see you later?
That's right. Exactly. And see, you said a lot right there because I'm sure every race feel the same way. Anybody have to add to that? Okay.
Nah, nothing to add. She said everything. Just, I mean, we are the richest country in the world.
Supposed to be the richest, right?
Yet we're built on capitalist values, and that's just wrong. A lot of countries around the world have free health care, yet we have to pay.
That hit home. You're right about that. Exactly. Somebody calling me right now for a bill I owe. I just stuck my head in the door. Because you got to laugh. I'm not crying. But I know what you're saying here. It's sad, but you keep hearing the greatest country in the world. And it does bug you. If we're the greatest, why is there people that are homeless shelters? Why is this kids are hungry, they living in woods that nobody don't report? And once again, this is my thing, what I was praying about last night. If we can get some of our elected officials to come here once every 4 weeks, 5 weeks, and tell us what's going on in the community, how can we make the city of Douglasville great and around the nation? But we just don't just vote you and just sit back and you smoke a cigar or go to a bar and drink some champagne and say, I won. Winning now, let's get to work. The work starts right here. And as I said, I mentioned the King D is that this is a platform we have. This is our platform. And this right now, this is going to continue, but we need your help. And also, the phone lines are open right now. Before this segment is over with, we want you to call in. If you want to have an input on something, please call in right now. And please hit that thumbs up signs. But as you can hear, we've been saying it for the longest. Please hit that Cash App, and any amount of donation is very much welcome. I thank you for that. And ladies, I just want to thank you also. Does anybody want to say something down there? Oh, we got okay.
I just want to say, like, a big part of the problem is accountability. Like, there's no accountability with enforcing them doing what they say anywhere. And optical illusions. They want us to see and think that everything is going to be great, and it's not. It's all an optical illusion, in my opinion. And accountability. No one is holding anybody to any standards that they set for themselves and for us in America and our community. And I totally agree with God when they took God out of school and the moment of silence. I feel like that was a big mistake. And because we need God, accountability, and the thing about racism, I wanted to say something about that earlier. I'm not racist in any way possible. I see it as ignorance. And I think we all need to work better in all cultures to become one and not a color.
Okay. If somebody else want to say something? Because I want to comment on what you said. And while she's translating with them, I want to say that sometimes everybody have a different God they serve. They call him a different name, and some people are offended when you say God. And you see, you got to respect those people also.
And one thing that hurts our country, kids can get drugs anywhere. They can find, when my daughter started 10th grade, she said, Mom, somebody came to school. I wanted to see why I wanted to buy a joint. I'm like, what? But in Texas, you cannot buy alcohol until you're 21.
Oh, really?
However, you can get your hands on drugs with no. So the addiction problem, because people think addiction means drugs and alcohol. No, there's all types of addictions. But in this country, our young people are surrounded and they have it's such an easy access on how to get drugs. And that's it's killing our nation. That is just making us, it kills families. It makes the insurance system even more expensive for people that do need insurance. It destroys them. It destroys their career. I mean, this thing with addiction and drugs and the easy access for kids to get that, it's also a pandemic. It's just very sad. And where are the people that said we're going to help with that?
You know, I wanted to say I agree with you 100% because I had family members died of drug abuse, and I guess a lot of us can know that, and we see that in our families. And they say quickly we got to do this and do that, like you say, a lot of talk, you know. And then I'm getting tired of hearing my condolences. You know, if we need to, it wouldn't be a condolence if everybody do what they supposed to do. And we go back to officials. That's why we asking anybody in the city of Douglasville, Georgia, hey, come visit our studio, because we are here, you know. And once again, the phone lines are open. And I know we don't have long on this subject, but, and is anybody else want to say something over there?
Bueno, ahora mismo el país está bastante inseguro. Hay mucha delincuencia.
At this time, I feel that there's a lot of people who don't feel safe. There's a lot of places where you go and you're just not. There's no security.
Yes.
Nosotros los latinos necesitamos sentirnos más seguros. Sentirnos más valorizados porque trabajamos mucho. Estamos aquí
As Latinos, we would like to feel safe, and we would like to be appreciated because as Latinos, we work really hard.
That's right. You know,
somos personas dispuestos a ayudar a la comunidad, al trabajo, con los niños. Estamos siempre ahí tratando de echar para adelante con nuestra gente, con las personas de aquí, con el gobierno, con todo.
The Latino community, we try to get involved in working any kind of jobs. We try to be there for our community. We try to, it's just our hard work does not get appreciated the way it should be. And yet we need to feel safer.
Oh, you want to say something? Okay, I totally 100% agree, but I have to say this before we go to break. I want to thank you, Latinos. I want to thank you for being our guest today. I appreciate, and I hope in the near future we can have you back again, because as you can see, this thing in the political system is getting close. It's getting a little rough, but I just want to thank each and every one of you ladies for participating and being on our show today. I just want to thank you. Would you guys want to say something to the ladies?
It's one question that I would like to ask you ladies. And, you know, with us being here in America and you guys coming from another, you know, country, coming into America, and we all have our differences, you know, like you say, and they pit us against each other, You know, they do that with all nationalities, right? So what I would ask you guys, as far as being Latino, what do you think that you guys could do, that we can do, that could better our relationships between ourselves, between each other, and break down this invisible wall that they have put in front of us?
La pregunta que tengo para ustedes como personas latinas, ¿qué creen ustedes de cómo podríamos mejorar la relación que tenemos entre los negros y los latinos para mejorar la calidad de vida, para mejorar esa pared invisible que ponen entre nosotros?
Bueno, yo diría que para mejorar, dejar un poco atrás el racismo que muchas veces el americano lo utiliza mucho con nosotros los latinos.
First, I would like to say that it would be wonderful if we could leave the racism aspect that we have with Americans against Latinos.
Yes, I think that's one of the biggest issues. But how do we do it? What's the first step in doing that? You know, ridding the racism between each other.
Well, I could chime in on that. Is one thing.
Bueno, yo diría que entiendo que simplemente teniendo una persona en el gobierno o no sé, en el partido, que ponga atención a esas cosas, que esté con nosotros, que nos acompañe a caminar el trayecto que nosotros escogimos caminar como latinos, que vinimos a este país a trabajar, a echar para adelante, y que nos acompañe, simplemente que nos dé la mano.
I think if we were to have a Latino leader in our community that can see where is it that we can improve, how can we work on relationships together, and a person that will guide us, because we come into this country to work and follow a dream. And if we had somebody who is a leader and can help us get there, that's how she sees there will be a difference.
Okay, because, you know, we see, just like with the border crisis, you know.
Wait, she wanted to say something.
Okay, go ahead.
She wanted to answer your question also.
Okay, yes, okay, absolutely.
Okay. Independientemente de estoy de acuerdo con lo que dijo Joanny, de la seguridad, del apoyo. Yo pienso que para mejorar entre la barrera que hay entre los latinos, pienso que debería de haber un poco de amor, un poco de apoyo. No estoy hablando del apoyo económico, el apoyo emocional. Aquí en este país se vive muy solo porque las personas no le importa lo que le pase al otro. Como ser humano, nosotros somos iguales.
I said, hold on, stop so that I can translate. And she says, I agree with what Johanny said about feeling safe, being segregated, and it would be nice for somebody to help us break the barriers that we have between Americans and Latinos. We're all the same.
Yes.
We're all human. And in this country, it's very difficult because we come to work in this country, and yet we don't have she's talking about moral support and family time.
No, on that note right there, we got to pay some bills. But before we leave, we want to thank the ladies, you know, the Latinos for coming on our show. Thank you very much. And hey, we'll be back in 2 and 2. Thank you.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Lauren, and welcome to TV 1061. Join our network and broadcast your film live across the continent. Come to our studio and film and stream your TV show, sitcom, and showcase and broadcast it worldwide. Combine multimedia with your live stream. Independent filmmakers show your movie and afterwards interview your cast live. Sponsors, advertisers, I'm talking to you. This is your chance for global exposure. These are exciting times that we're in. Traditional TV is but a thing of the past. TV 1061 is on the Roku platform. Roku is an industry leader in internet TV. It has a viewership of 53 million and counting. It is the most popular and fastest growing internet TV platform. If you are interested in developing and showcasing your movie or show, or interested in coming in as a sponsor or advertiser, please send us your contact information with a brief description of your interest to 1061tv@gmail.com. Thank you.
Today's world exposes our youth to life experiences that are well beyond that which their years should allow. Violence, trauma, poverty, injustice. Our children's lives and their livelihoods are in constant danger. Wisdom Inc. is a community-based organization designed to save young lives by reducing violence and assisting youth in their personal development. Wisdom stands for wise individuals structuring and developing youthful minds. Through our collective wisdom, we can change lives for the better. Wisdom Inc., reducing violence, developing youth, saving lives.
You are tuned in to Talk Show Kings on TV 1061.
Man, what they gonna do with this black on black crime, man? I'm sick of this. Thank you for watching another edition of Talk Show Kings on TV 1061. We'll be seeing you soon.
You are tuned in to
Hey, we are back for the second half of the show, and we want to thank the Latinos for the first half. There was a lot of input, and unless we're going to revisit them again another time. But Sonya Massey, that's the big question now that's going around, the hot topic. You know, I watched it about 3 days ago. I think it was Benjamin Crump. He went to Illinois with the family. And what touched me more about it when the father spoke, because I actually got teary, because he said his baby girl, he's not going to see it anymore. And I don't know how many times I called my daughter baby girl. I don't even want to imagine to be in his shoes. We all got all kind of different type of stories, but I got to share something with you real quick. I've been holding something back for a long time. No, I ain't coming out no closet. What I'm doing, I'm trying to tell y'all the serious note is this, that when I had a stroke 4 years ago, and I talk to God all the time. I got family and friends say the Most High. I got to thank God. I thank Jesus. I thank Jehovah God, Jesus, because God put in my spirit, you never acknowledged me on the show. Where you at today? If it wasn't for platforms like this, volunteering at community pantries, speaking and talking to people, believe me, I was so far off the edge because I was just that close to death. And I just got to say, it's sad to say, I mentioned it before on the show, it's embarrassing, but it's sad. I remember I wanted to even commit suicide. But when I heard the voice of the Lord spoke to me and said, is that all you think I could do for you? And then I felt guilty because I got people love me, family members, friends, and I'm cheating them. So what I'm trying to say, if anybody out there with mental help, you can get help, seek help, talk to that individual. And getting with the Massey family, they try to claim that the woman had a mental problem, but the devil is a lie. So y'all know the stories. I know my kings here. They got a lot to say on it. Let's go with King D. What you got to say about it, King D?
It's just flat out disgusting, man. With what goes on in this world today, you know, with the injustices and the things of that nature, man, especially with our people, with the police brutality. And this is what we was talking about, last week or something. I think I had talked about, you know, having, you know, the law passed to where as though, you know, for our safety.
George Floyd, I think.
You understand what I'm saying? That they did it for the Koreans, you know, and the Asian, you know, people, the law that they passed for protection. If you did any unjust, you know, acts or killings, you know, you're going to be tried as, you know, as a serious offense.
That's right.
So, you know, this is the things that we got to learn how to stand up and fight for. And it's just sad that we see more and more of our people just being slaughtered in the streets. You know, it's just like we back in the 40s and the 30s and the 20s, you know.
That's right.
It's nothing's changed, you know. It's just it seems like, you know, everything is
I mean, we can't even call them to our house to protect us.
Right.
We don't know if we're going to lose our life.
Exactly. You know, yeah, but they did say, you know, she had a case of paranoid schizophrenia or what have you, and thought she heard something and things of that nature. But literally, if you hear the video, the officer, you know, seemed like he got freaked out because she rebuked him because of, you know, because of what, you know, the officer has said. And, you know, he kind of like took it like as a spook or like a, excuse me, like some type of curse she put on him or something like that. And then she still apologized and he still shot her.
Exactly.
But these type of cops just don't need to be on the force. I mean, you know, literally something definitely needs to be happening. It needs to be a vetting process that's done, that, you know, that should be able to stop these, you know, maniacs, these racist, what I call them racist maniacs out here, you know, slaughtering our people, you know. So
what would you have to say about it?
It's, what I got to say about it is it's a case of history is repeating itself. That's the one thing I'm noticing. We're definitely, as a community, where we don't trust the justice system no more. It's going to come to a point to where we're going to start policing our own neighborhoods, and the cops don't want to get it to that point. So, I mean, King D is right. We do need a vetting process, but how can you know, vet the racist ones? Because anybody racist can bury down their feelings deep enough to look just like anybody. So it's like, how can you weed them out? I mean, it sucks that to weed them out, something like this have to happen, because it don't need to.
Well, I think it started with the department, because the guy just said the guy was 6 departments in 40 years. 4 years this guy been in.
6 departments. That
red flag.
Exactly. That's a red flag right there. So something should have been done after being moved from the 2nd.
If I'm not mistaken, the guy is 6'5", 260. The woman was 5'1", maybe 110, 100 pounds.
Didn't have no weapon on her.
None at all.
I mean, so what was he scared? You scared of water burning you?
You know.
She wasn't even by him. She didn't even you know, threaten to throw anything on him. So.
Okay, Kingsley. What you think, Kingsley?
I think that we have a lot of cops that's been bullied in high school, and now they get these jobs and they get power hungry, and they feel like if you can't do what I say, they become the bullies. So I don't care if she had a pot of water, if it was cold, if it was hot. There was no reason for her to be shot. Even if she did throw it at him, because all the reports say, well, she threw a pot of hot water at him. Okay.
It's just water.
It's water. Or what if you got scalded by that hot water? What if it had to hit his face? Okay. It's water.
But the whole case that takes me, King, is that the uncle came there and they lied. They pretend like the woman self-inflicted, or the neighbor shot him. He didn't even know till the next day. The dad didn't even know. The dad brother, the young lady who was killed, her brother called him and said, what address she at? And he didn't know her daughter was dead till the next day. How sick.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. And the fact that if you go back and you look at the video, the fact that they try to cover it up with him saying at the end, "Oh, that lady was just crazy."
Yes.
I mean, it doesn't matter if she was crazy or not. Again,
Yes.
It's just water. It wasn't like it was a pot of grits.
That's right.
Even if it was a pot of grits. She said, "I'm sorry." She put her hands down.
And you still shot her.
And you still shot her.
I hear so many things that, did he shoot her twice? I hear in the eye, in the throat, then I hear maybe once in the head. Then his partner tried to try to relieve her. He say what?
He tried to go get some help. He like, "No need. It was headshot."
Well, what disturbs me is before he shot her, he said, "I'm gonna shoot you in the effing face." So
He said what he was gonna do.
You sitting there being aggressive to a woman for no reason, and you wonder why we want to start policing our own communities.
In our early segment we had earlier, we was talking about race, and there's been talk. If there ever been a white woman, would it went down that way?
Exactly.
Oh, no, it wouldn't have went down that
Absolutely
way. Come
not.
on now.
You know, and that's the thing, man. I think we all been, hit with racism in some form or fashion, these days, because it's so prevalent, right? Whether it's in the workforce, whether it's in, your everyday routine, your commute to work. I mean, you're dealing with racism on all levels, and so what I suggest, because I've been harassed by the cops before, my life been threatened. Police threatened me before, cocked his gun and put it in my face and threatened my life, for nothing, because I stopped and stopped to talk to him because they asked me to talk to him about something, and here next thing you know, it gets out of whack, and he pulls his gun out and want to search me and frisk me for no apparent reason. But I tell everybody, but these are the things that you got to do when it comes to these racist cops, man. You gotta report it. You gotta report it. If you feel that they're mistreating you or mistreated you in some form or fashion, pulled you over unjustly, get the cop number, get his badge number, get the car number, and report him. Because especially if you didn't do anything.
But wait a minute.
You gotta report
a lot of
him.
times we report it. A lot of people scared to go because you figure everybody's in there together.
You can't be scared to go because that goes on that cop's record.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? You don't have anything to judge this cop by, but his injustice, doings and acts that he's performing on the job, right? So just like he put your life in jeopardy, we got to start putting their lives, their jobs and livelihood in jeopardy, because if they get enough complaints, then the department has to do something about it.
You mean like
they
the
can't just
police?
allow them to keep on harassing people and pulling them over for nothing, unjustly, treating them unjustly for no reason. But if you don't report them, then they don't have any way of finding out until something happens. Then now they can go back and see.
Wait a minute.
This
Let's
police
go back
officer-
to the guy who shot the lady.
He's been moved.
Yeah.
He's moved departments, so that means he's been reported and nothing's been done about it.
But moved him to another department or another
state of maybe,
another
I don't
state,
know.
another whole jurisdiction and things of that nature. But see, that's the thing. Now that comes with the police. These police precincts hiring officers that been rolled up before, that done these injustices and still giving them jobs. So that's the second level that we got to stop.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
and
Well,
try
let's
to
see what the King
address.
he want to say
Okay.
something. What you saying, King E?
So now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying all police are bullies. Now,
No, all of them.
most of these police precincts, even with most of these police stations, they're empty. They're short staffed. So I can see where they're just trying to fill a body. But the vetting system has to get better, because they have a vetting system. They just probably during this time, they're not even paying attention to that system because they need a body. And let's just think, those 5 other cases that he was on where there's no video camera on about, but what if there was no video camera on this one? What if those body cams wasn't working then,
Right.
would we be talking about it?
No,
Because it wouldn't be an issue because there's no video
Accountability.
out there. There's nobody that actually saw what took place except for the police.
That's right.
Yes.
And that's why I say, like, that's a good thing that one of the biggest uplifts, should I say, to social media, because before social media, you didn't hear about it as much, or you will hear it on the news. But since social media, you get it, you know, you see it live. You know, you can see these injustices happen as we are breathing.
That's
So
right.
that's the one biggest thing about social media. It brings out the truth in a lot of things.
Yeah.
You know, no matter how much we talk about that, it's a bitter pill to swallow and know that your baby is dead. None of us on this stage here want to ever come home to nothing like that. And when I notice about this thing, when it's not in our family, it's somebody else, it saddens us, but it really, I really had tears. When, yeah, they said a woman has some mental health, but she called out a demon when she saw it. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus twicely. And then she turned, I'm sorry. And as you said, like you've been cursed. Because come on, 2 DUIs. He only had, it was a misdemeanor. God forbid we have a DUI.
They're looking to fry us.
Exactly. So we can talk about it till we brown or green in the face. But you said something early. They really do have a lot of good cops. I've met them out here. And I go back to this when I had a stroke. I couldn't even remember the car I'm driving. My keys was locked in the car. You can't imagine how sick. I felt so stupid. They asked me, where you at? The people in the store had to tell them where I was at, what kind of car is right there, and I can't even tell them. And that's part of mental health. You see, what we think mental health is just somebody that's go through a little crisis. We got the President of the United States. He's going through a mental health. And when some people are cracking jokes about it, like it's funny, you don't know those shoes until you get those shoes. And I do not wish that on anybody. But it's sad to say that, you know, that young lady, senseless, 36 years old. Really?
Yeah, it's definitely sad. You know.
Did you want to say something?
And you know the crazy part is Trump says we want to give the power back to the police. They get full immunity anytime they do something. Now that's scary, but we want to vote for that. This is what we want. So now when they kill somebody, it's justified. No matter what it is, it's justified. And it's not like they're just killing everyone. They're killing certain ones.
Certain ones.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But like you said, man, there are, you know, good officers out here, but it's for those bad ones, you know.
Yes.
That got a chip on their shoulder and they're out to, they hunting us down, literally.
That's
you know.
right.
I have friends on the force, you know, and some of the stories that I've heard, you know, it happens. It's real. Trust me, it's a code of silence. You know, it's
right,
a fraternity.
the blue wall.
Yes,
But,
that's right. That's right.
One thing with the you know, like you said, there are good cops, but these bad ones is putting a bad name on cops. Period. You know, like the ones that that wants to help and do their job and just help the people in trouble, they have to fight a bigger uphill battle because of the bad apples.
And like you say, and they know they're bad apples within the force. So they got to start, you know, they got to start speaking up and start turning on their own if we're going to get these things settled too.
That's right.
Because they know the bad apples of the bunch.
Yes.
Trust me,
It's
they know the
simplistic.
bad apples in the bunch. But it's just that they feel they have a duty to uphold this secrecy and
Yeah, but I gotta flip it now.
Yeah, you know.
I gotta
so-
flip it because they got cops right now, and they're looking at this. They have families just like us, and you just said you're right. If you simplistic, if you're not saying that, you're just as guilty, and you know it. You take an honor or swear yourself in or get sworn in, and then you're doing these things to innocent people under a dark bridge, and you know they're scared. If you say anything, I know where you live, threatened, and you're right about that. A lot of people have lost their lives trying to turn people in. You know, I've seen it happen in different states, and they say, "Oh, you could just turn your head," you know. And then our communities, if we, as you could say, you said one time, we got to establish something, a community coming together. We need to talk. They work for us. Our taxes pay for their, and just to think about it, I'm afraid for any of my family members to even call the cops, because they come guns up, and then when they see this black face, they claim that we're the threat, you're the problem. I mean, they broke in somebody's house, and the guy with a call, he got his pictures up in the house, and they want to arrest him. How do you get this house? Look at the car you're driving. I've seen bankers had hard times going to the bank. Look, before I go on this segment, we have to revisit this again. Our time is running short right now. And final thoughts we want to get from each one of you guys. What is your final thoughts on this right now?
My final thoughts is that, man, I don't know, man. It's just, it's not going to get better until we make it better. That's my final thoughts. Until we make it better, it won't get any better.
Okay, say that.
My final thought, more like some advice for people. Like, if you ever get stopped by the cops, make sure both your hands is always visible. Don't get aggressive. Because some of these cops are itching to pull out their gun.
Okay.
Just do as you're told and try to go about it later.
Okay. What about you, King E?
Yeah, I'll piggyback off what he said, because that's something similar to what I was going to say. Just if you're pulled over, or even if you make a call, just keep calm and do what it is that's necessary. Don't do anything that's going to draw attention to yourself and make it seem like you're the problem. And then because you can't win, you're not going to win in the streets.
That's right. My final thought is that, listen to me closely. I'm getting tired of people saying it's not time right now. I am, me personally, endorsing Kamala Harris for the President of the United States. I hope when she come here in politics that she stop in our show, Talk Show Kings. Thank you. And to another time, we'll see you then. God bless.
Talk Show Kings on TV 1061.
Man, what they gonna do with this black on black crime, man? I'm sick of this. Thank you for watching another edition of Talk Show Kings on TV 1061. We'll be seeing you soon.